Hello everyone, welcome back to a NoteWatch patch overview in Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we'll be going over major changes in patch 19.0. All the information for this video has been taken from PTR patch notes and the PTR itself, so minor things may vary when the patch goes live.
Just like in the last content patch, there will be a new hero coming to Heroes of the Storm in this patch. The hero coming in this patch is called Gul'dan. Gul'dan is a ranged assassin who focuses on using his abilities to damage his enemies. At level 1, Gul'dan has 1717 HP and 500 mana. His basic attacks deal 62 damage. Gul'dan's trait is called Life Tap. Gul'dan doesn't regenerate mana, but he can use his trait, Life Tap, to restore 25% of his mana at a cost of 243 HP. Gul'dan's Q is called Fell Flame. Fell Flame shoots a wave of fire in a cone, dealing 189 damage to everyone hit by it. Fell Flame has a very short cooldown of 1.5 seconds. Gul'dan's W is called Drain Life. Gul'dan channels a beam between him and an enemy, dealing 137 damage per second, and it heals Gul'dan for 179 health per second. The cooldown of Drain Life is 10 seconds. Gul'dan's E is called Corruption. Gul'dan's E creates 3 circles on the ground, erupting and poisoning all enemies hit by it. Corruption deals 213 damage over 6 seconds, and the effect can stack on the same target. The cooldown of Corruption is 16 seconds. Gul'dan's first heroic ability is called Horrify. After a very short delay, Horrify fears all enemies in the targeted area and deals 178 damage to them. The cooldown of Horrify is 80 seconds. Gul'dan's second heroic ability is Rain of Destruction. Gul'dan channels for 7 seconds. While channeling, this ability rains down meteors randomly in a very large area. Meteors deals 244 damage each. The cooldown of Rain of Destruction is 100 seconds.
A breaking news icon has been added to the top of the navigation bar in the game menus. Healing wells are marked with a plus sign in the minimap until they are destroyed. Healing wells has gotten an increased cooldown from 100 to 120 seconds. The healing well now restores 40% of maximum health instead of 41% over 20 seconds. They now also restore 30% of maximum mana instead of 20% over 20 seconds. Ranged, melee and wizard minions now deal double damage to structures. Catapult minions' attack range has been increased by 20% and sight range by 17%. Catapults will now fixate on structures. Catapults will not acquire a new target after fixating until the target is destroyed or the catapult is killed. Garden of Terror. Increased overgrowth damage wounds against structures from 100 to 200%.
In patch 19.0 there will be a few major changes to some heroes. Greymane is getting some buffs to his abilities and his Worgen form. The Worgen form attack damage bonus has been increased from 40% to 50%. Marked for the kill has a new functionality. The vulnerability effect will now be refreshed each time Greymane deals damage to the marked target. Greymane can refresh the vulnerable effect indefinitely. The cooldown has been reduced from 60 to 50 seconds. The range has been reduced by 40%, and you can no longer reactivate marked for a kill to leap to the target. Greymane's level 20 talents have been changed. Unleashed will now increase the damage of Go for the Throat by 25% for 10 seconds when you kill an enemy with Go for the Throat. The damage boost is capped at 100%. Gilnean Roulette has a new functionality. The talent has been changed so that whenever an allied hero deals damage to the target marked with the vulnerable effect from Marked for the Kill, the vulnerable effect will be refreshed. Jaina is another assassin that will be getting a few changes this patch. Blizzard will now call down 3 waves instead of 2, but the damage each wave does has been reduced from 167 to 142. The mana cost has also been increased from 75 to 90. Karasim's Insight talent is getting a new functionality, and it's now a quest talent. An effect that restores 14 mana will now trigger on every third basic attack. When this effect has been triggered 100 times, every third basic attack will now also reduce the cooldown of all basic abilities by 1 second. Asmodan's demonic invasion now deals full damage to heroes. Chan's fortifying brew can no longer be cancelled. Dahaka's essence devourer now has a quest. The quest will make every region globe collected increase Dahaka's maximum essence by 1. When Dahaka collects 10 region globes, the amount of essence gained from region globes is increased from 10 to 15. Muradin is no longer unstoppable while using Dwarf Toss. Stitches no longer needs to pick a talent to be able to hook his allies. Stitches can now toggle on or off if he wants to be able to hook allies. The size of the stuck text that appears on the screen when you are stuck by Tracer's pulse bomb has now been reduced.
Zagara's base damage has been increased from 95 to 86. Creep Tumor has a new functionality which grants Zagara 20% bonus attack range while on creep. Creep Tumor's health has been increased from 111 to 150 and no longer costs mana. Cast range of Creep Tumor has been increased from 0 to 2.5. Creep Tumor no longer grants additional health regeneration while on creep. Base creep spread distance increased by 33%. Baneling Barrage now fires a single Baneling at a time. It has 4 charges and costs 10 mana per charge. Banelings have a 3-second cooldown. Damage per Baneling increased from 75 to 91. Banelings no longer have health nor can they be targeted. Devouring Maw no longer deals damage on impact and the DPS has been increased from 43 to 80. Cooldown reduced from 120 to 100 seconds. Nidus Network has a new functionality. It now passively increases creep spread by 25% and all basic attacks lower cooldowns by 1 second while on creep. Nidus canals can now only be placed on creep. Entering the Nidus canals is now cancelled by taking damage. Max amount of Nidus canals on the map has been increased from 4 to 10.
This has been the Notewatcher's patch overview for patch 19.0 in Heroes of the Storm. You can check out the patch notes for yourself by clicking on the link in the description. Stay tuned for more patch overviews in Heroes of the Storm and other games.